Hello and welcome to Sim Broadcasts. We're back and we are here with Rony's Tuesday Fun Race 2022 Season 1 Round Number 7 with the Ibusha Saga mod in Live for Speed. Owen, we're at Kyoto Ring Oval and we have a mod car again in RTFR. We love these things and we will be interested to see if the Ibusha Saga can make it up there with our favourites so far.
Good evening, Pete, and welcome along, everybody. This mod, if you know your Japanese cars, I think you'd recognize it fairly quickly what it is, but it's not quite thriller. I think it's going to be going to deliver compact racing, but the horsepower is low and the weight is high, so something different.
Absolutely. We are on the 7th round of the 2022 season of RTFR. And we've had two mods so far this year, the VKI 6 and Shark C. And tonight we are at Kyoto Ring, the favourite oval in Live for Speed, for 34 laps of racing this 3 kilometre, 1.9 mile, 4-corner oval, which should provide some entertainment because the car we have this evening, the Ibusha Saga, it's around about XRG power. It's about 30 brake horsepower less actually, but it is quite chunky. It's quite big, isn't it? I mean, it's 1.3 tons, this thing. So we're looking at slightly faster than the XRG, similar in the fact that it's a rear-wheel drive car, but yeah, the similarities end there.
Indeed, yeah. The fact that we're on an oval, I think that makes it harder to anticipate exactly what this car is capable of. We won't see too much braking, for example, like we saw with previous mods, that cars like the Stratos style car had very shaky suspension, so braking for corners is very difficult. So in this car, I'm not sure what exactly to expect.
No, indeed. And yeah, this mod was made by Ruby in collaboration with Eurobeat. And yeah, go and check it out. And we're going to see a bunch of racing because we have qualifying underway as we speak. 37 cars currently setting a time. So let's head to the track, Owen, and see how they're getting on. 38 cars apparently right now.
There's very little give at the top of the leaderboard. At one point, we had a dead heat between first and second place. But as we can see now, it's Fragmaster Fatal on pole position by 1/100th of a second against Vitao Teslagouskas. Then you've got Arska very close as well, Ayub and Rayman in the top 5. So lots of drivers in those 57 low to mid times. So very impressive.
Yeah, it looks good. Fatal setting the benchmark so far, but look how close it is at the top. We like to see this on oval racing, and we've seen a lot of drivers practicing their drafting technique around the lap, Owen.
Yeah, I think teammates are going to prove a very significant factor in the race. You can see ZFRL, everyone represented, I can see, are in the top 10. And that's fabulous going. So if the trio can lift each other up, then they've got a very, very promising chance of big points.
Yeah, and in RTFR, we don't mind a little bit bump drafting and qualifying, do we? So these two working together, we've got Fatal in the very blue and turquoise cyan car there. He's using the alternative version of this mod that's got the little pop-up headlights, which I like, Owen. Quite a fun little touch, that.
Yeah, it gives the customization, that little extra element. So yeah, you can see some cars running the pop-ups. Very retro but memorable feature.
Yeah, let's see how they do here on this lap. Let's see if the bumping actually helps them out. I'm not sure who it is pushing. I mean, maybe you can tell me. But it is Fatal up front. But yeah, these two going quite low down on the oval.
Oh, that's Sidus Unite. Yeah, you couldn't.
So Unite behind. Unite trying to get a time in. He's currently down in P12 there with a 57.3. Let's see if these two can manage to work their way up the order. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the pace is while cars are bump drafting. This looks like a pretty decent lap with the bumping. Haven't seen this sort of technique used very often on one of our broadcasts, Owen, because normally it's banned in some of the more serious leagues in the for speed. Let's see what they do. No improvement for Fatal, no improvement for Unite. So it hasn't worked for them on this occasion.
Okay, still got 2 minutes 53 seconds or thereabouts. So there's definitely plenty of time. Another 2 or 3 attempts in them anyway. We're checking out Vina running on his lonesome there. He should be safe for the cutoff. No one has put in the 40th time just yet, so I'd say he'd be fine. And same goes for T-Bug as well. There shouldn't be any hassle getting a spot on the grid.
No, right now no one seems to be at risk of being off of the grid. It's been a very, very popular combo, this, and why not? The oval is super popular, and look at the ZFRL guys. It's nice to see them all bunched up at the top. Thamuli, Motimukari, and Mies up in 6th, 7th, and 8th. Possibly it's going to be a race of teammates, this one, because if you've got teammates, you've got drafting partners. The key, though, Owen, will be to stick together in the race, because that is always difficult, especially over 34 laps.
Yeah, I feel like a moderate length race with those 34 laps. Not quite a sprint, not quite the XL edition. So that should deliver those teammate drafting opportunities. They should be able to form up and make sure that they can get together, certainly by the midpoint of the race. That'll be the key.
Yeah, here's Soini. He's on the cusp of the top 20. Dropping a wheel on the apron there. You do want to avoid the apron at all costs in any car in LFS, really, around the oval. You don't want to drop wheels on the oval. On the apron. It will unsettle your car a lot. But Soini currently circulating there, trying to improve on this lap. Let's see if he can improve on this attempt. Oh, he's having to make his way around a very, very slow car. Maybe just building up speed. I'm not sure. That looked like quite an immense amount of overspeed he had there, Owen. So potentially a wobble. And Soini, strangely, looks like he's struggling to keep the rear in check through turn 3. Notoriously difficult in the rear-wheel drive XRT to keep the rear in check through there, especially on hot tyres. Let's see if he improves. He does not on that lap.
No, but he has time for this lap, and then it'll be checkered flag out for this session. On board here with GIF, or GIF, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. He will be 37th as things stand. Actually, 38th. On my leaderboard, on my LFS, he's actually 38th of 38.
Yeah, there's an elephant in the room here, isn't there, with this car? Check out that steering wheel. That is fantastic.
Yeah, it's got that invisible left-hand component, the very 80s steering wheel. So actually, GIF has moved offline to make sure other drivers can pass. And there we go. The session is over, so we're just waiting for Team Sony and the others to get their final hot laps in.
Yeah, Tata M will get a lap in. He's done a nice paint job on that. He's got the trims neoned up by the looks of it, or trying to make that effect. Let's see if he can get an improvement across the line. He's got 59.95 on the board currently, good enough for 35th on our grid. And across the line he comes, and he is improved, but he does not improve position. But he took a good chunk of time out of there. He took 0.3 of a second out of his lap, so that's how close it is at the top. Here's Vitalis Lagutskas, currently lining up in P2, only 100th of a second behind behind Fatal, and then Asker a further 0.3 behind him. Born to Race, good showing, 4th and 5th so far, as we just wait for the final cars to come across the line. That should be everyone, I believe, Owen.
Yeah, that should be every time set, and 39 drivers will line up for the grid.
They will indeed, and let's see how they will stand up. It will be Fragmaster's Fatal who leads the way ahead of Vitalis Lagutskas for Yes Motorsport. World Class Lines Asker in P3, Ayub and Rayman P4 and 5. Then it's ZFRL locking up positions 6 through 8. Michael in P9, Yaroslav Donelik in P10. Sidus Unite P11 only after trying to bump his way round with Fatal. Young Tommy B P12, Nasty Boy in P13. Mazway, Lucas, Rony, Number, Elias, Lorenzo and Magic round out the top 20.
For the bottom half of the grid, we have Merinui, Team Usoini, Brave, Starwurst, Climbs, Tim DC, Iron Dunny, Yari Katilla, Gemini 95, T-Bug, Pitlane Racer, Vina, Vexed, Tatami, Martin Kapal, Mandula, Ruby, and GIF.
Yeah, let's see. Martin Kapal is an oval specialist, and he will not be down there for long, I assume, if he takes the race start. We do have another order of business to go through before the start of this race, Owen, and that is the matter of the championship standings as they currently are. So let's have a look at those on the screen right now. Leading the way, it is Vitalis Lagutskas with 165 points ahead of Rick Cardle. Then it's Sidus Unite. So the two Sidus boys have got a lot of work to do here, Owen.
Yeah, and I want to see Unite around as of right now. So Lagutskas has a prime opportunity to extend that lead. Oh, sorry. That's Unite, yeah. Rick Cardle, sorry. Yeah,
Rick Cardle's not here, but Unite is. Unite's in P11 at the moment on the grid. But yeah, Rick Cardle not in attendance, which is a bit strange. I don't remember the last time we didn't have Rick Cardle on the grid of an RTFR race. But anyway, there we are. Probably the last round of last season, actually. Fatal P4, Asker P5, Upsas P6, the Mooley, Yaroslav Donelik, Mandula, and Donny round out the top 10. Jaban there in P11. He's also not here today, I don't think. So, again, there's going to be a little bit of shuffling in this order. But let's let the rest of the results scroll through, shall we? Because we currently have just under 80 names in the championship tally after just 7 rounds of the season. It's great to see the number of cars entered into this series yet again in 2022. We were a bit gutted, weren't we? I mean, we missed last week's XL. The Lurgy got the better of us, but hopefully that's it for us in terms of ailments, and we can cover the rest of the series without issue.
Yeah, it's a shame it happened when it did.
To both of us.
Yeah, to both of us, exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
unbelievable.
bad timing all around. But yeah, hopefully it'll be all better from now on.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Anyway, here are the final results coming across the screen. Presmikov currently in the final position with 77 points. And these are just the drivers who have scored points, of course, and you can join in. We are only 7 rounds into the year. We have 2 seasons of RTFR this season, and both with 10 rounds in each. So if you fancy getting involved, then you can do. Here are the remaining rounds of the season 1 of RTFR's 2022 season. Taking us up to the 280th RTFR. There will be races over summer, but they will not be championship races, Owen. So there won't be any points available for the races over summer before we resume season 2 in August. Here's a reminder then again of the track before we get going in 5 minutes' time. Not particularly complicated, but it does look like the drivers are having a bit of an issue through the third corner banking. It does tend to catch out some of the rear-wheel drive cars in lift speed, and this car, the Ibusha Saga, the mod by Ruby, seems to be no exception with its 1.8 litre flat 4 rear-wheel drive configuration. It is really big as well, Owen, so with those tiny road tyres, it must be a handful actually on this banking and through the final couple of corners.
Yeah, I would imagine so, but we haven't seen them going toe-to-toe at full racing speeds. We've seen the bump drafting, but in actual competition, I haven't seen it yet.
No, absolutely. We will take a very quick pause. We'll be back in a couple of moments' time for the start of round number 7 of Rony's Tuesday Fun Race in 2022. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment's time. Welcome back to round number 7 of the 2022 season of Rony's Tuesday Fun Racing Live for Speed on simbroadcasts.tv. We are moments away then from the start of a 34-lap race around the infamous Kyoto Ring Oval in LFS with a brand new car, the Ibusha Saga mod in Live for Speed. Owen Harmon joins me in the commentary box. Owen, are we excited about this one?
Yeah, this is a prime opportunity for drivers you mightn't expect to get the win. They could come forth and get a huge result. So that's race green and race clean.
Yeah, let's do that as the cars spool up. It does sound a lot like the, what is it, the FXR? I don't know, that is quite a raughty engine noise on the grid, but look at them all. The little Ibusha Saga mods. Some of them with their headlights popped up. The front row have chosen to use their headlights. The rest of them, they don't care. They want the streamline. Let's see. Here comes the lights. 2 lights, 3 lights, and we're waiting for the green. We are green. And we have 36 cars rolling away for the start. It's a good pull away for Fatal and Lagutskas as they head off rather sluggishly. It has to be said. This is quite a heavy car. It makes a lot of noise, but there's not a lot of movement, Owen.
Yeah, 0 to 60 must have been 10 seconds there.
And the rest.
Just an approximation, but it certainly felt like it.
Absolutely. As we look back towards Batatas Lagutskas, and it looks like it is basically stalemate at this point, as we've got cars nose to nose running down to the first sector line, which is here. United's managed to get himself tied up in a nice group here. He's in the middle of this little pack, and there's an absolute melee going on behind with Pragmaster's Number, who is another oval specialist, but mainly in single seaters. Will he be enjoying this? I guess so. Look at the huge pack we've got in turn 3, and that's collisions.
Contact.
Yeah, got contact. This is going to be a nasty
for a nasty boy.
Yeah, so that was cleared up pretty quickly. Again, the drivers just getting themselves worked out. But yes, Unite going for a move here. Trying to use 2 lines, which doesn't work unless you've got big banking all the way around the oval. Let's see. Interesting strategies developing already here. But yeah, Unite trying to make progress here on the inside. He's got Yaroslav Donnelly, young Tommy B around him, but there is no change at the front. As you can see, these lot nose to tail. Yaroslav Donnelly then driving in that red car. Those two slot in behind, and there was contact there between Michael Malik's in the red car. This is Donnelly at the back. 2 plum-coloured issues.
Yeah, they've got the colour on show now, so they're easier to identify.
Yeah, and as we almost expected, the ZFRL guys have not had the best start. They've managed to be kind of split up, and now Mies is being kind of pushed along by Number now. He's dropped back from both of his teammates, so those 3 must have been hoping for a nice start to pull away together. But Thamuli, currently the highest placed ZFRL car, up in P6, as we follow again this pack up front.
Contact. Young Tommy B has made contact with Unite. Oh, that's a devastating incident there. Just trying to get through on the outside with the bump draft, and unfortunately tagged him too hard.
Yeah, Unite dropping back and young Tommy B dropping back also. That was a disaster. We didn't quite catch the right angle of it, but anyway, young Tommy B retires from the race, and the Gutscast takes the fastest lap on that previous circulation. But yeah, these 3 pulling away. There is an 8/10 of a second gap between the lead with and Aub. So the Born to Race guys, they need to sort themselves out. Big crash. Lorenzo's gone round in the background, and a couple of other cars have left the race also. So some issues further down. Let's keep an eye on this lead battle for a little bit. Let's see what Aska's doing. I think Aska is just playing the safe game and just sitting in behind. Rony must have had an issue, Owen, because he's coming to pit lane.
Yeah, I mustn't have caught that one myself. Yeah, he was doing quite well in the middle of the pack, but he's going to lose all that progress now.
Yeah, Mandula's out as well, so we've lost a couple of big hitters in this race. Currently, Number is the highest climber by the looks of it. He's climbed a bunch of places. He's currently P11. And Mies actually has managed to get back with his teammates, but only because Thamuli is battling hard with Yaroslav Donnelly and Michael Malik, who have both sort of bump drafted their way past. So Thamuli needs to now stay with them.
Yeah, he will be cautious with the bump draft. He doesn't need to force the issue here, but he'll be rooting for his teammates and Number to catch up post haste.
Yeah, here we've got Yari Katilla and Unite then. So Unite's managed to regroup and he's back up to P15. The order is slightly reversed because of how close the cars are. So these two are currently in P14 or 15, depending on which part of the track they're on. But there we are. And similar story up here with Yaroslav Donnelly now in a bit of a sandwich. Motomakari and Mies now together. So Mies has managed to catch up Motomakari, probably because Number was helping him round. Let's see, can these three work together now to catch up to the cars ahead? It's a game of chess, isn't it? Oval racing, and you have to stay on the track and not tangle with other cars, but you have to work together and be tactical on every single lap, every single corner.
Yeah, every corner has a different challenge. So yeah, the drivers have to just keep focused, and when the chance for a change comes up, they've got to take it. Otherwise, there's going to be a single file all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Here is Unite now pushing around Yari Katilla. They're trying to catch up to Brave. There's a small gap there. It's not that big, but the gap ahead of Brave to Tim Dicknodder is 3 seconds. So that is quite a significant gap to close down. The leaders have caught up to some traffic. Let's see how they deal with this one. They've just got through some actually. So we were a little bit late to the show there, but look at them. That car of Lagutskas is a pinball in a Newton's cradle.
Yeah, right in the middle. You won't feel the biggest hits, but obviously, you just have to be really careful because if he times his momentum,
well, I tell you what,
there'll be problems for Fatal.
The cars that have timed their run well and are working better together, this Born to Race duo, it looks like 2 is better than 3 to get around here in this car, because look at this. The two B2R cars of Abe and Rayman have caught right up to the back of Oscar, and they're going for the move. They're going for the move on the inside of turn number 3, which is really, really banked, but still not that straightforward. Oscar needs to be careful not to lose the slipstream here. In fact, they did such a good job of that, getting through. And Oscar might have been unlucky here, essentially. Yeah, they're still pulling away from him. Let's see as we ride on board now. Oscar on the left-hand side, of course. This mod supporting both left and right side drive, which is nice, a nice touch.
Yeah, good to see. I've always heard the unwritten rule is you should have your driver on the left-hand side so you can aim precisely where you're going on the left turns.
Yeah.
So yeah, Born to Race will be plotting route to victory here.
Yeah, I mean,
2v2.
Look at the advantage they've gained over Oscar just by working as a pair. Oscar was completely mugged, but now Lagutskas and Fatal are working together as a pair as well. That somewhat neutralizes this battle. But yeah, the B2R guys were on such a roll there. But for how long? Now it's just a case of neither of these pairs want to make a mistake among each other, or else they're going to get swamped. But yeah, left-hand drive certainly an advantage on the oval for better weight distribution. Brave has been caught and has been tagged, and that's going to allow Unite just to run around the outside because Yari Katilla has spun trying to get past Brave. So there we are. That's unfortunate. Now Yari has to find another drafting partner, and Unite can disappear up the road. Unusual.
And actually, Yari's in the worst spot. He's miles ahead of his opponents, probably, 6 seconds or thereabouts. And that's going to reduce a bit, but it's just that worst case scenario. He's now 3.5 seconds clear of anyone. But Zeta Farrell have their tandem back with Number.
Yeah, Number is owed a beer by every single one of those Zeta Farrell drivers because Number has basically been the rear gunner pushing them all back together again like a deck of cards. And look at him now.
No.
Oh my goodness me. I have no words for this.
No, I can't believe that. I honestly can't.
Oh dear me. So Motomakari binned by Number in that bump drafting arrangement they had going, and now all of his work is undone. That's what happens when you drop a pack of cards.
Yeah, that's really gutting for Motomakari. And indeed, Number will be he'll be caught by Unite very, very quickly. So he may just want to back off and work together with Unite for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. These two are the sole remaining ZFRL cars in the top 10, and they'd quite like to keep it there, but there we are. Michael and Yada have managed to get past Asker and drop him too, so potentially Asker with some problems. Has he got some problems we don't know about there? Because, well, he was running in the top 3 for most of the first 10 laps of this race. But we have some drama at the front. Look at this. What's happened here? The two B2R cars are working so well together. They've managed to draft alongside and now past the two cars that were leading this race. Fatal in that Cyan car, completely mugged by B2R. What a drive from Abe and Rayman. Great stuff.
Superb work. And the pressure's on for Fatal and the Goose Gas. If they cannot regroup, then the race will be a formality for the Born to Race guys. Oh no!
The Goose Gas did not know. He didn't know what Fatal was doing. He went into the back, and that is it. B2R have pulled an absolute blinder, and our experienced duo of Santu Sarah and Vitalis Gutskas have tripped over each other, and it's all gone wrong. And it is a B2R show now, as we have Ayub being pushed around by Rayman.
You know what, though? Michael and Yaroslav Donnelly are gaining a few yards now. They could certainly compete for that podium place if they can carry this momentum.
Certainly can. This is beginning to turn into one of those Top Gear style races where the cars are connected together. As we see, who was that? That was Yardo having a little bit of a slide. He should be okay to stay in the slipstream, but he can't afford too many of those. But yeah, we've got three pairs of two drivers at the front of this race.
Yeah, which pair have you got? The Born to Race cars continue their formidable work. They just have they have turn 3 out to themselves. The traffic will be just taking the 4th curve about now, so they just need to consolidate the lead.
Yeah, this is Asker. He's being being caught up by Mies and Thamuli. And further back, we've got Lorenzo, Soini, and a bunch of other cars here. Yarrick Attila and Magic are involved in this, also scrapping it out. And, oh, goodness me, Magic dropping down to the apron. I thought he was going to clip the nose of Soini there. Not quite. Soini, again, struggling to keep the car in a straight line. We saw it during qualifying. And he's been tagged by Lorenzo. And here comes Yari. Yari's able to send one up the inside. And we're about to have about a 7-car melee, and there's the result. Cars ahead are basically distracting the cars behind. Climb's got tagged there, 3 wide, almost a 4 wide situation developing. Keep your lines, guys. They're all within 2 lanes. Slightly more contact. This is Ishaverse that we're following. And, well, he's managed to stay. He's got a bit of damage on that car, but so far he's stayed out of trouble on this lap. Now 5 of them together, and Yarrick Attila able to slip away ahead, Owen.
Yeah, this is very valuable for Yari after that disappointment at turn 3. But whoever out of the gaggle of cars can emerge, then they will end up being Yari's draft partners. Seth Wurst has done the best job so far, but he needs the bump from Climbs, I believe that is.
Yeah, from any of these guys, really, to be honest. They are gaining again. The top 2 are pulling everyone else along and getting closer to Yari. No one can be too greedy in this situation because there are too many cars now involved in this battle, and we've seen the way that can end throughout the 14 laps we've already almost completed. Trying to make the high line work, that's bold, but it could work potentially with a drafting partner, and it has. They've managed to pull ahead, so this is really interesting, seeing kind of a low-powered car providing so much slipstream and enabling that high line to work. It is working.
Yeah, very impressive, especially on the slim tires that they're running.
Yeah,
to allow for that much grip. But they have technique.
Yeah, they've made it work
for the moment.
And now they're ahead. They can use the low line again, and the group behind them becomes a group of 4 once again, with Yarrick Attila leading Lorenzo. that racing green machine. And that's Timu Soini being pushed along by Eoin Donny, who isn't much used to being in positions outside the top 20, Eoin. But there he is in P21.
Yeah, the fates haven't been too kind to Donny today, but there's still time in this season 1 of RTFR in 2022 as Unite wants to regain as many places as he can, but Number will know that there's lapped traffic ahead, or is that? Yeah, I think that's the lapped car that they need to negotiate. And
yeah, these two are really experienced on the oval, so they'll work well together. This is what they need, but they are some 20-odd seconds behind the leaders, so they will have to have a flawless end to the race and hope that some issues befall their opponents up front. Speaking of the opponents up front, look at the gap now between the pair of Lagutskas and Fatal and Born to Race. That is major. It's a pretty big gap, about 1.5 seconds. Hearing that Aska has finally managed to get a break and catch up to a draft with Mies and Thamuli. So, trying to piece back together a race that could have seen him on the podium, but he's dropped down to 9th place now.
Yeah, it's disappointing for Aska. He was competing for the overall win, but he's obviously got two drivers that have the maximum trust in each other here, the Thamuli and LG Mies. But it's whether or not he wants to get in between them by force or through the slingshot effect. It's however it's gonna be developed, I suppose.
Yeah, in a low power car like this, you are at a significant disadvantage if the two people working together do not want to work with you. Of course, punching a hole in the air and being able to push your opponent along is much faster than being on an oval on your own. You have only your power to drive you, and you have all the air of everyone else in front of you too. So Aska, he doesn't have much of a choice. He's going to have to sit in behind and hope that the two ahead of him are willing to play ball. But yeah, Aska, he's kind of trapped. That's as simple as it is.
Yeah, it's frustrating, I'm sure, but he knows that the gap behind it's absolutely massive compared to Unite and Number. So if he just wants to settle down for a few laps, then he's more than welcome to.
Yeah, so you mentioned that this was a backmarker. It was indeed, and the backmarker now has to try and move out the way of Unite and Number, otherwise their progress will be slightly stumped. They move to the inside. Hopefully they will be let through. Yes, it appears as though they are being. And they can try and close up to the back of Aska, but that will be a very big ask indeed.
Yeah, there'll be no yellow flags or cautions to help out the pair of Number and Unite. So Tatsiem, I suppose, was enjoying that lap. Oh, I see Unite and Number tagged each other. Sorry to take away from that battle.
Okay.
There was a brief tag, so Tatsiem has now managed to get back in between.
Yeah, here he is then, P28, mixing it with the front guys. It's allowed. You're allowed to do it on oval racing, generally. In RTFR, you are supposed to respect the
And now
flags.
Yari, Catilla, and Lorenzo make contact.
Yeah, Yari's crashed quite badly. He's on the other side of the road. There he is. So, yeah, not good for him. Too much going on at this late stage. Say mid-stage. We're only just over halfway in this race. With now almost 19 laps completed of our mandated 34. Here are our leaders now, Owen. Now, this could get tricky. This could get really tricky. There's a group of 3 cars. Oh, as one of them goes in the pit lane, actually. That's helpful.
Yeah, pit lane racer there in the yellow.
Well, he's in his home territory then, isn't he?
Yeah, it looks like a full-on pit stop here. No need to merge back up. So Kapal is out of the way. Ruby there is battling Martin for a position, so he can move alongside as well. So yeah, that's a good move.
Yeah, let's give Ruby some airtime. He made this mod, so he should deserve to be shown on screen with his car. We're hearing Unite is out of fuel. How on earth has he managed to misfuel the car?
He's seriously miscalculated, according to his own words.
How has he managed that?
I don't know.
Unite is an experienced guy, and too many mistakes have come his way this year already. So that's wizard. That is.
He'll be able to get the pit stop.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. Here is Fatal still being pushed around by the Gutskas, and these two don't look like they want to swap over and give the other a bit of work to do. Asker, meanwhile, has been dropped by the ZFRL guys. He could have had some contact and maybe a little bit of a wiggle or something, but yeah, he's been well and truly dispatched now, and that will be very difficult to catch up to the ZFRL drivers. This is Motti McCarry and Brave. Motti McCarry was one of the front runners earlier, but he's back down to P14, stuck behind Brave right now. These two working together. Definitely a theme of this race, isn't it? Bump drafting. But bump drafting in Live for Speed is really satisfying. It's really difficult to be in either position. You might be looking at this and thinking, oh, okay, the guy up front has got such an easy time of this, but really it's as difficult to lead when you're bump drafting as it is to follow, because when you're getting pushed from behind, your car doesn't want to go where you want it to go. You have to keep it as close to the line, the racing line, as you possibly can. But with someone pushing you, the rear becomes really unstable and doesn't behave as it normally would. The guy behind has to adapt to that and kind of ignore that you're wobbling around all over the place, but also make sure that they don't pit maneuver you.
Yeah, that's all very well put, Pete. I've done a few Kyoto 250s in my time, as well as 500s, which was more
showing your age a bit.
Slingshot. Yeah. So yeah, bump drafting in that category was bare minimum you could get away with, but yeah, you had to draft very, very heavily, or else you were doomed.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult enough to draft with two people. It's even more difficult when you've got three, because there's just more variables, more collisions going on, and more chances for things to go awry. But here we are as we head through turn 3. This will be the most tricky part. It's always the most difficult part to bump draft someone effectively on the Kyoto Ring Oval, because it is the it's the tightest corner with and there's a bump in the middle of it as well, so all of those things to deal with. In the faster cars especially, it's really tricky to maintain an effective bump draft through the final corner, but these two are doing a great job. They've managed to overthrow Santu Sarah and the Gutscast so far, but we do know that Born to Race are not the luckiest of guys. We have seen some issues out of their control affecting their races recently. Hopefully they don't have any such issues right now. Anyway, here we are. We're back to number, and it would appear, who's he behind? That is a back marker, is it? That is Tateme. But yeah, Tim DC is just behind number, so it does look like number is going to wait for him and work together. Because, Number's lost his draft partner because Unite ran out of fuel somehow. He is still circulating. He's down in P24. Here he is. He's a lap down now, and he's with the ZFRL guys in P7 and 8. So helping them out. Or messing up their strategy or something. He's already messed up his own.
Yeah, he's broken up their rhythm.
Yeah.
You can see now the lap traffic have been moved by the race leaders, so it's up to Fatal and Liguscast to perform the same act. They're not going to get it done immediately. They may want to do it in the next lap.
Yeah, this is really impressive from the Born to Race guys. Fatal and Liguscast are not inexperienced, and they're super fast. And Vitatis Liguscast, remember, is leading the championship. And if Fatal doesn't play ball with him, he could risk losing out on a podium even here today. Let's see if they get past these back markers okay. They've met them on the best part of the track. It's really easy to navigate your way past the back marker normally here. But they're going to go down to the line. It's going to make it difficult. There we go. The rear view of the car in the lead of that train was blocked somewhat by the car behind, and it just didn't react to that quite soon enough. Won't have affected Fatal too much. In fact, they have made some slight gains on the Born to Race cars because of the slipstream that they were given. But that was close. That was close.
Yeah, it was 10th, I have to say. Just the natural racing line saved Fatal and the Guscas there, because the back markers had to drift upwards to keep their momentum going. But thankfully, they were able to slow down as well.
Yeah, they moved out just in enough time, but they did give Fatal and the Gutscas a monster tow, because the gap has come down by 3/10 on this lap already, and it looks like what is happening there. The Gutscas wants to go in front, does he? What's going on there? He tagged the back of Fatal. That was weird.
Yeah, they would have lost a little bit of time that last
Yeah,
lap.
they did.
Yeah,
They did. They lost about 3 or 4 tenths again. So the advantage that they gained from the slipstream of the back markers has been undone because of that. Anyway, Unite has been shuffled to the back, as he should be, because he is a lap down, and the ZFRL guys can now work together to try and maintain or even better their current P7 and 8 performance. Yaroslav Donnelly and Michael Malik, however, are still working well together, the Czech duo. And they're not going to let that happen easily, are they, Owen? I mean, they're in a bit of no man's land, certainly. Michael Malik has a gap of about 4 seconds to the Gutskas and Fatal, so unless the two ahead of them make an issue, this might be where they end up.
Yeah, it's looking like the laps are going to run out for the majority of drivers trying to compete for maximum position. So still enough time though, be about another 7 minutes or thereabouts.
Yeah, something like that. Jari Katila has managed to pick up Elias as a drafting partner. Currently down in P18 and 19, these two, and they've got the leaders just ahead of them there. Sorry, not the leaders. That was, I believe that was was it the leaders that just went through? Yes, it was. Fatal and the Gutskas got past them on the previous lap. But yeah, this is a really tricky situation for the ZFRL guys. They have a lot to deal with now. They have a backmarker, Unite, pushing them along. And as I mentioned before, 3-way drafting is more difficult than 2-way. A lot more.
Absolutely, yeah. Just that driver in the middle really has to know everything that's going on. As actually Unite had a tag with the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully the car stayed secure and didn't lose the rear end grip.
In a 3-way train, the car in the middle has the most work to do. They have to make sure that they are not tagging the car in front, but also that they're holding their line so that the guy behind them doesn't tag into them in the wrong way. The guy behind just has to pick their moments to push. The guy on the lead just has to focus on the line. But yeah, the guy in the middle is between a rock and a hard place, quite literally.
Yeah, and that's another car down a lap. That's Climbs, lapped by the race leaders. And third and fourth will be gaining very quickly, as Climbs has no partner to speak of. Yeah, the concentration of the duo for Born to Race, it's unbroken as of right now. They figured out what to do. They just need to keep doing it for a few more laps. But yeah, Rayman, I presume, won't want to go for the win without prior reason. But now Team Usoini and Donny and Brave as actually all together now. They have not quite mastered the 3-way tandem, I'm afraid, though.
Well, Soini and Brave, Soini and Donny have managed to catch and overtake Brave. So Brave's only just become the third car in this train, and it does look as though Monty McCarry is going to get caught now as well. So Brave and Monty McCarry will be back together. As soon as you lose your drafting partner, that's when you're a sitting duck, and you're a sitting duck to anyone who's in a train. And we're going to see just what that means. Monty McCarry, will he drop down to the apron? Yes, he will. But these two are just going to motor on past. There's going to be nothing Monty McCarry can do unless he blocks them. He's trying. Well, he's trying to stop them from getting through a little bit. And it seems to have worked. It's disrupted their flow for sure. And now we have a 4-car battle on for, what is that, P12. Oh, goodness me. Monty McCarry's hit the wall. And that's allowed Soini and Donny to just go through, and Brave and Monty McCarry together, giving each other the squeeze. And that's what happens when you lose your drafting partner and you lose your rhythm. It all happens too fast, and there's not much you can do.
Yeah, Brave has the initiative here, and Monty McCarry should slot in quickly enough. And now the podium. will be contested for Fatal and the Goosecast. I don't think they'll agree for much longer. The precious few points on offer.
Yeah. I mean, it's less tricky for the B2R cars because the B2R cars, it's a team win for them either way. Yeah, they might fight it out at the line, but they're not going to do anything stupid. They want the points for those guys. But there is no teams championship. This just looks good for the team. So Ayoub and Rayman will scrap that out. However, the battle for third, Owen, is a battle for third. It's a battle for who's on the podium and who isn't. So the Gutscast will, even though he's been working with Fatal the whole race, and they were working together for the lead at one point, neither of them wants to be in P4.
Not at all. Still, Fatal can follow the racing line, and the Gutscast kind of has to cooperate. But until Fatal goes offline, that's the only chance the Gutscast really has. But yeah, very good run here for the ZFRL duo. They'll be catching up to some traffic. That's Nasty Boy and Serhurst. Yeah, Isverkt, excuse me.
Yeah, they're a lap apart from each other actually, but they're still working together because it's quicker to work together than it is to be alone. So you got to pick whoever's available. Basically, you don't have much of a choice in over racing. If you want to make progress, you just need to work with anyone who's around you. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Will Rayman go for a last-minute tuck out of the slipstream? Maybe, but it doesn't matter for B2R. They've pretty much wrapped this up if they can do the next 3 laps without any issues. The battle I really am going to focus on, I think, here, Owen, is this one between our championship leader and Santi Sarah, because, yeah, like I said, this could become fireworks. Who knows?
Yeah, it's we're running out of corners now. If the Gutscast wants to make the call, he's got to do it very, very soon. But the race leaders just have to wind it down just a little bit. They can't totally coast. Yeah, this is a chance even now for the fastest lap, which still belongs to Ayoub. That'll be a great opportunity for either one of these guys. They can get that fastest lap away from the Born to Race.
Yeah, these two have worked together phenomenally. They each deserve the win at this point, but only one of them can get it. And right now it looks like Rayman is quite satisfied with pushing Ayoub to that crown, but we will see what happens when he gets to the end of this lap, which is the final lap of this race. 34 laps of the Kyoto ring are almost completed. And I have to say, for this sort of thing, Owen, the Ibusha Saga looks like it's been a bit of a handful and therefore interesting and fun for us to watch.
Indeed. It wasn't a case where if you lost all your acceleration, you were doomed. You could get it back.
Here we go. Rayman's tucked out of the slipstream. He's not quite got the run. Ayoub had a lot of momentum there somehow, but Rayman looked like he was going to go for it. Is he going to go for the outside? That won't work. Ayoub will surely cover off the inside, will he? Yes, he is. And he's making Rayman's life really difficult. Rayman has pushed him round for 34 laps, and Ayoub has shut the door on the line. Here they come to the line. Ayoub says, "No, mate, you helped me out, but you're not going to get it." And it is Fatal who picks up P3 ahead of the Gutscast. So similar story behind. Wow, what a finish. Rayman almost fancied his chances. Michael Mallet comes across the line in P5 in a nice flourish sideways. And then we will have the Mooley from ZFRL. Very nice finish for him in P6. And then a whole gaggle of cars arriving now. But yeah, what a drive from Born to Race. Absolutely awesome. Side-by-side finishing as well. So Thamuli, Asker, Yaroslav Donnelly in P8. LG Meese coming through now. There he is. He'll take up a nice P9. He'll like that. That's one of his better results, Owen, I'd have to say, this year and from last. Number, after all that drama, he finishes P10. Tim DC, P11. Soini and Iron Donny coming across the line in P12 and 13. And then the last of the ZFRL cars, Mortimer Carey in P14. And there are the rest of our finishers. Oh, and I really enjoyed that. That was thoroughly enjoyable. However, I wonder if we'll have to see this mod back again at a track with more than 4 corners and maybe some with some right-handers. What do you reckon? And maybe some breaking
Yeah,
zones, says
we'd
Chris.
love to see the breaking zones. Absolutely. What is this car truly capable of under different stresses and different challenges?
All right, let's get a look at those results and run down them in full while Ayub for Born to Race finds his way to victory lane then. And yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed that one. That was a really nice race. Nice to see a lot of battles up and down the field. And here they are then in gold medal position. It is Ayub for Born to Race, followed by Rayman. Fragmaster's Fatal joins him on the podium. Then it is Lagutskas in P4, Michael Malik P5, the Mooley in P6, Asker P7, Yaroslav Donolik and Mies and Number round out the top 10. And it was, according to our timing screens, LG Mies, Mika Sarkinen, who registered the fastest lap of the race. Can you believe it?
Wow, that's a huge surprise. Yeah, well done to LG Mies and Number with joint fastest lap there. They must have worked together to earn it. So yeah, fantastic stuff there.
Mies got it
so
first.
Mies
So
is registered for being ahead, yeah.
good effort. Yeah, so that he'll be very happy. I mean, yeah, top 10 and the fastest lap to take away. So good effort from Mies, a good improvement, and maybe he's an oval specialist and we didn't know about it. But there we are. We know for next time. Tim DC, Soini, Iron Donny, Motti McCarry, Brave, Magic Climbs, Ishaverst, Yarrick Tiller, and Siduses Unite round out the top 20.
In our second column, we'll be talking about a lot of drivers lap down or did not make the finish. So let's see Elias, Gif, Ruby, Tataim, Lorenzo, Kapal, Pit Lane Racer, Nasty Boy, Rony, and Vexed. So I think Rony was the final classified finisher. From Vexed, we have Young Tommy B, Mazway, Lucas, Gemini, T-Bug, Marinwi, and Vina. Unfortunately, did not make the finish.
Thank you very much for that, Owen. That's about all we've got time for this evening in RTFR round number 7. However, it's not all from RTFR. We have 3 rounds left before the summer break. That will be in 2 weeks' time. We did miss the XL race that was supposed to take place last week, but we will have RTFR XL. The race took place. We were sadly not there, but that will take place in 3 weeks' time. But in 2 weeks' time, on April 12th, please join us for the next round 8 of RTFR. Owen, that was a fun one. I really enjoyed it. It's good to be back, of course. So yeah, let's see what is in store for us next time.
Yeah, it's the crucial point of the championship now. 3 rounds to go in the season before the summer break. So we do know what this configuration is.
Yeah, so in round 8 we have the BF1 at Blackwood Historic Reverse, which is the Blackwood GP circuit without the final chicane in the BF1. So that is going to be awesome. And then we have in XL, we have another mod car, the MRG V8 at Aston North Reversed. So in 3 weeks' time, we're going to be driving that supersonic car. It is a handful, I'm hearing. So a good car to look forward to. And another mod. So bring on more mods, I say. They're providing some good entertainment on our broadcasts.
Yeah, we should have healthy diet of the mods at this stage. So I'm looking forward to seeing even more of them now.
Yeah, I echo that. Congrats to Born to Race for a great victory here, actually, over Faithful and the Gutskas. It was the Gutskas, our championship leader, who had to settle for 4th place in the end. And a shout out to our colleague, I have to say, LG Mies, Mika Sarkinen, for that great top 10 and the fastest lap. Well, what do you know? Stars among us. Anyway, Owen, thanks a lot for joining me, Chris, as ever, in our ears, giving us the information we need to give you the best viewing experience. I've been Peter Butcher. You've been watching Sim Broadcasts. We hope you have a great evening. See you at the next one.
Bye.